You've been hearing us talk about it for a while now, but the defining theme for the world is still an escalating great power competition among the United States, China, and Russia. That means an escalation in the U.S. trade war with China, a likely expansion into sanctions, a U.S.-led campaign to block Chinese investment, trade, and research, especially in sensitive tech areas from AI to 5G rollouts, and it means frictions in the Taiwan Strait and the South China Sea. So that brings both opportunities and headaches for the middle powers trying to balance among these great power poles. So watch as Poland tries to take advantage of a US-Russia arms race to shore up US security guarantees, which will put an already politically consumed Germany in a very awkward position with Moscow. And watch as China uses its economic leverage to dilute US alliances with powers big and small, from the Philippines to India and Japan. Global economic growth will be more sluggish compared to last year, but we're not expecting a major downturn. Looking at how to quantify US trade risk specifically, we think Mexico, Canada, Japan, and South Korea have a pretty decent shot at mitigating the threat of US auto tariffs, mainly through quota compromises, but the EU trade negotiation with the United States is bound to hit a very big wall. A U.S. showdown with the World Trade Organization in 2019 will risk paralyzing the body's dispute mechanism and send trading partners back on a bilateral path to negotiate trade frictions. In the Eurozone, Italy's banking sector remains the biggest worry factor for financial markets, but Brussels and Rome can still drag out negotiations to avoid a systemic crisis. An upcoming parliament vote on Brexit could be a very big disruptor to the Brexit process in the UK, but here again, London and Brussels still have a decent shot at evading a disorderly Brexit. Expect to hear more royal rumblings out of the Saudi kingdom, and watch as foreign powers and investors reevaluate their ties to Riyadh. But Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's power will remain entrenched so long as his father, King Salman, makes it through the year. Further escalation in the Saudi-US campaign against Iran will also help to prevent a breach in the US-Saudi relationship. But MBS antics aren't the only things that will be stressing Saudi Arabia out this year. Residual Iranian oil on the market, potential supply increases out of Iraq and Libya, and a significant expansion in U.S. pipeline capacity later in the year will drive very close coordination between Riyadh and Moscow in particular to prevent a major collapse in the price of oil. This will also be the year that the United States will shake up global LNG markets when it earns its spot among the top 3 natural gas exporters in the world. Finally, these are interesting times for Latin America. Mexico's new president is driving an aggressive populist agenda that could result in a proliferation of referenda to upturn policy and unnerve investors. More hardline and US-aligned governments in Colombia and Brazil, meanwhile, could drive a more assertive regional response to Venezuela's spiraling crisis. And Brazil is ready to shake up the Mercosur bloc to liberalize trade, while populists vie for a comeback in a still economically fragile Argentina. For a lot more context around these forecast trends and more on what's shaping the world in 2019, check out our annual forecast on Stratfor Worldview.